Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Enns. I'm Senior Fellow in Biblical Studies at the BioLogos Foundation, and we're here today with the Reverend Dr. Tom Wright, and we have a chance to ask some questions, some of which we've gotten via Twitter and emails, and also about a lot of topics such as his recent book, After You Believe, and science and faith issues. So welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. Yeah. Well, here's a first question we have for you. What do you think is the biggest misunderstanding that Western 21st century evangelical Christians have about Jesus? And how does this misunderstanding stunt our faith and our witness?
It's hard to quantify different levels of misunderstanding, but one thing I meet constantly and have done for many years is the idea that because Jesus was divine, which sort of comes with the turf of who we are, we believe this stuff about Jesus being divine, therefore he couldn't have had any questions in his mind, he couldn't have struggled with vocation, he couldn't actually have meant it when he said, maybe there's another way in Gethsemane. And I think one of the key things to remember is that in the great formulations of faith in the early church, the humanity of Jesus is every bit as important as his divinity. And that's not just a clever balancing act. That's actually a very profound insight on the part of the earliest Christians, that whatever you mean by divinity, you have to make sure it doesn't, as it were, trump his humanity. Because, of course, the divinity of Jesus is not some abstract divinity. It's the divinity of Israel's God, who is the God who brings in his kingdom and does so with compassion and love and all that. And the humanity of Jesus is the humanity of Israel's representative. And Israel is the people who goes through all this suffering and all this tribulation. And somehow God vindicates them. And these two come rushing together in Jesus. And what I see in so much evangelical thinking still is a kind of nervousness about admitting that any of that might really be the case, and that prohibits one from actually engaging with what the Gospels are all about.